Hello, good morning. My name is Choi Keeryong. I'm one of the instructor at Corning Museum of Glass, teaching a class called Digital Crafting in Glass. And here is my TA, Lauren Bucket. Can you please introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is Lauren Puckett, and I'm actually one of Chay's PhD students at the University of Edinburgh. And this is my first time at Corning, and I'm really excited to be here.
So today I'm going to give you a kind of a brief introduction of what we have been doing in this class, and then also show you kind of the process of making a mold out of PLA, 3D printed PLA, and for PLA, so-called PLA burn-out casting process. So first of all, I just opened a file that I made on a 3D CAD software called Rhino, and so here is a model I made. And the good thing about using this 3D CAD software is you can actually you can explore the shapes and proportions, even color, before you actually physically make them. And so, and obviously, the virtual space in this software can be quite confusing, but once you get used to this space, then it's really, really easy and really useful. And then also, obviously, there are a lot of tools that helps you to design and to make your mold. But and I just want to quickly introduce one of the really interesting, useful tool called. You can find this tool on the Analyze menu bar, and then Mass Property, and then the Volume menu. So if you click on this Volume menu, and then it will ask you to select an object you want to calculate the volume. So I just select it and then press Enter. Then it tells you the volume of the object I just selected in cubic millimeters. So it says that 688 cubic millimeter. So if you multiply this calculated volume with by a specific gravity of glass, which is somewhere around 2.5 and 2.8, depending on the specific glass you are using. So since we are using bullseye glass today, we're going to multiply 2.5 of bullseye glass specific gravity. And so this is really useful tools, and within this class, obviously, we are not using this Rhino, but we are using open source, free open source software. You can download free, such as Mesh Lab and Mesh Mixer, and then also we downloaded free photogrammetry app to scan object and somebody's classmate's body to make sculptural bust project we do in the class. So Lauren made really interesting scan out of her bust.
Sure.
So you can introduce this.
And if you feel overwhelmed, we made a cheat sheet for you, so we'll have all these links and all these steps that we'll post later. Mm-hmm. But actually, Che, he just used my phone with, again, like free software And he took a scan of myself, and then we split it, and I went, there's a lot of, again, free STL files you can download off the internet. I use the Smithsonian. This is Neil Armstrong's spacesuit, and I really wanted to kind of make my own MTV Music Award to cast in glass, just to show you.
It's probably.
I don't know if you can see it. You know, you can kind of see how it will model in before we 3D printed. And we're gonna go through, we're gonna leave a lot of steps, like I said, on that cheat sheet. And then we 3D printed it with PLA overnight. And yeah, this is the objects that we are going to show you how to cast in glass, or make a mold so you can cast in glass.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and before we start making mold, I just want to show you the final outcome. And even though the model I designed on 3D software, we really want to materialize that design in glass. So the process we're going to go through today is allow you to make your 3D model you developed on 3D software into easily make them into glass. So without, obviously this is really kind of easy. I shouldn't say easy, but it's a relatively easy process to understand. And also once you know and once you understand the process, then it's fairly easy process to work with. And so I am going to start making this.
Sure. Yeah, of course.
Oh yeah, and then right, okay. And there are a couple of samples I brought here, so you can see what you can do with this simple process. So, and we 3D printed this vase, and it was in PLA, and then we built mold out of this PLA, and then burnt out, and then cast this model in glass. And after that, we kind of nicely cold work some part, so we get really nice finished glass vase here. And then another sample is kind of feel a little bit embarrassing to show these flashes here, but we made this in kind of a rush to make a nice sample for you. And so first this cage was printed in PLA, and then using PLA burn out process, we cast this cage in transparent glass. And then once it was cast and casted, and we bring this cage into hot shop, and then put it in a pickup kiln and bring temperature up to around just before softening point temperature. And then once it was hot enough, we took this out and then blow glass into this cage. So as glass was inflated, it kind of go through these small gaps in this cage. So you can have, so you know, even though the process is kind of straightforward and something simple, but you can do a lot of things actually. Sure. With this. So, and
I think the flashing's good because you can show that, you know, maybe your glass doesn't come out perfect, but
okay, yes.
You know, you can also understand that.
As a kind of, I kind of as a perfectionist, it always bothers me like this. But yes. I mean, you're right. It gives some sort of character to this piece.
And it just can show you like little imperfections that can happen in the casting process, mm-hmm. and the importance of venting and different little things that we can talk about.
Yeah,
you know.
Absolutely, yes. And so now I'm going to show you a mold making process and how to build a refractory mold around this 3D printed PLA, and then how you decide where to put air vent to cast glass better. And then we're gonna use this metal wire. I don't know, Lauren, maybe you can help me with
Sure, what the gauge is.
where the gauge is.
If not, I'll find out and I'll make sure this is all in the worksheet so you can have, you know, the specific details of type of wire and the gauge that we're using.
So first,
Oh, and why do we use the vents?
oh yeah, good point.
So, yeah.
It's a good point. Thank you.
Sure.
So, if you see this model here, and when we decide where to have air vent, we always need to think kind of upside down. It's because your mold, your model will be placed upside down in the mold. So glass will be fed or flow from the top to the bottom. And if you see here, glass doesn't like going up.
And air gets trapped in.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
And then it always follows gravity.
Sure.
So here in, is it yours or Neil's?
Those are Neil's
Yes,
hands.
all right.
Yeah.
So, and this Neil's hand, obviously it goes up. And glass needs to flow up. So in here, glass will be really struggling to going up.
Because as the glass feeds down, all that air is naturally going to come up. So our vents are going to allow, as the glass pushes, the vents will allow the air to release.
Yes.
And then the glass, because of gravity, will naturally push back up. But if the air is trapped in there, it just can't get in.
Precisely.
So if I'm going to have hands, we
Great.
need vents.
Yeah, Neil's hands, not
Yes,
yours.
Neil's hands, yes.
So, and then also what I'm going to do when it comes to building a mold is I will hand build a mold specifically for this process. You can make your mold by pouring and also hand build, but I prefer to hand building for this process. It's because we need to fire this mold twice. First for burnout PLA and second for casting glass. So your mold needs to be really, really strong. So for that, I prefer building my mold by hand building. And so I am going to, this is a bit odd actually.
I know, we were laughing. Yep, and it'll just fire up when you...
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
They had to teach me what it was. I thought it was a tool to carve.
So we really want to kind of stick your model to this acrylic board, so your model doesn't move around while you are building a mold. So to do that, you can use double-sided tape or just blob of clay. And
Are we going to put a funnel on this? No, okay. Fine.
So it doesn't move around. And then, or what you can do is you can have just a bit of wax from candle. And then, no, I should have done that on on the board. So it, oh!
See daisies? Here, let's try it on the board.
Oh, yeah.
nice little. There we go.
Hopefully.
The pros make mistakes too, right? There we go.
Yes. It sticks. Right. Okay.
Piece of, yeah.
And then, so we're gonna use this metal wire to make air vent. And so when you do stick this metal wire air vent, just imagine that you are an acupuncturist.
Yeah.
So hit the tip of the wire, hit up this tip of wire with this key light, and then my hand.
I'm gonna hold it up. It's not sticking?
No,
We had trouble with this. Let's use the clay.
Let's use the clay.
We had a little trouble with it yesterday too.
Yeah.
I feel like it's the room is so cold.
When you are working in front of camera, everything goes wrong. So I'm not really surprised.
I'll turn it too so they can see it. It's going in. You can see where it enters the hand. And then I'll turn this one so they can see it too.
Yeah. And also another one I'm gonna put maybe just so you just press in and then wait until the molten PLA cools down, so it kind of grips the wire. So it's done. So there we go. And I didn't make this air vent like this, or like this. Usually, if you are using thicker, for example, kebab skewer or bamboo sticks, then there is a chance where glass can kind of go through those thick channels. But since we are using very thin wire, glass will not go, and you're not going to lose through this. You lose your glass through this thin channel. Glass will, but air can be pushed out, but glass will not travel through this. So don't worry too much about making your air vent horizontal way.
I actually didn't know that. I would have always fed them that way, just thinking upside down, because I would think the air wanted to pop out. So
Okay.
that's great.
I'm kind of lazy, so this is kind of I've learned this from somebody else, but I think it's really great way to make an event for a person like me, lazy person like me.
He's not lazy. Look at his cold working. Nope, not lazy.
And then I'm going to use this cheap hairspray. You don't have to have really fancy
products
what's the kind of the most expensive hair salon style hair salon product? I don't know. Vidal Sassoon or something. You go to I don't know how do you call the pound shop? Like
pound shop, like the dollar store.
Okay.
It doesn't have to be a high-end product, and this can work in your 3D printer too.
Exactly.
So to keep so the 3D print will pop off. So lots of uses, and we'll list all this stuff too.
And then so you spray this cheap hairspray all over, and then wait until it dries. The reason why we use hairspray is that when you apply refractory mold mix to the surface of this PLA, stick better. It helps this mold mix stick to the surface better. And then you can hairspray to your wax model as well. And then also what you can do is you can dip your wax model or PLA into methylated alcohol. So it removes grease on the surface.
Yeah.
It helps to the refractory mold material makes a stick on the surface better.
Sure. Yeah, because you're fighting gravity when you're trying to get it to stick up into all the little crevices.
Exactly.
So,
Yes. And then I didn't measure my glass volume. It's because I got those digitally calculated volume already. So, but if you kind of lost your file and or forgot to calculate the volume, you can also go with something more conventional way, which is water displacement volume calculation method. So, how does it work? That water displacement calculating method is have some more water?
Sure.
Yeah, just tiny bit.
Just want to go to 30?
Yes, so 900.
Oh, 900.
Millimeter. Thank you.
Yep.
So I have 900 milliliters of water, and then so we need to remember this level of water, and then get your model, and just maybe we need to empty a little bit more. It's gonna be. It's odd. Every single time I try to do demo or speak in front of camera, this always happened.
I think that's everybody.
So now I have 700 milliliters of water ready, and then we need to remember 700 milliliters, and then bring it your model, and then press until it is completely submerged. Submerged, right?
Yep. So now you're at 850.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then the water level
It rose 150.
yes, to 150. So 150 milliliter is your volume, your model's volume. And then with 150 milliliter, since water's specific gravity is 1, you can multiply 150 milliliter by 2.5 glass bullseye glasses specific gravity.
Let me grab my calculator. So let's see. And again, we'll have our cheat sheet, right? So if you don't remember this. So 150 milliliters times 2.5, which is bullseye specific gravity, is 375.
So 375 grams of glass you need for this model.
And the error rate. So we might add a little.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we kind of, since it is very manual and ancient method of calculating volume, it's not really super accurate. So I would recommend you to add 10% more of glass. So we are looking at just roughly around 400 grams of glass for this. Obviously, you can cold work out the excess after you cast glass. So.
Oh, and you know what? you might want to note, if you're like me and you get going and you forget to do things, if you've already made your mold, you can calculate what you need after we make the mold and fire it and burn it out. You can do the same calculations if you forget to measure it prior. You know, so there are ways if you miss a step. And we'll put that on our cheat sheet too.
Yeah.
So we're hoping to make a good, you know, kind of checklist. So as you're working, you can make sure you're going step by step and you're ready to rock.
Yes.
But you'll ultimately forget something, you know. So.
Yes. And Lauren is so organized, so she doesn't forget, but I do. So it's really good to have Lauren here in this studio. So, and now what we're gonna do is we're gonna build a refractory mold around, and we're going to build just about or between inch and half or 2-inch thick wall all the way around. Even thickness is better. So if more even thickness is always better. It's because it allows heat penetrate through this mold equally or evenly. So in order to remember the thickness of the wall we're gonna build, we will mark the kind of boundary. So just about 2 milli. Even Sharpie doesn't want to work.
Well, it's wet.
Yeah.
Grab some paper towels. Good.
Yeah, that's better, yes. Okay. Again, embarrassingly, my lines are not so beautiful, but you can tell.
It's a visual reference.
Yeah,
so,
exactly. It doesn't have to be beautiful and or straight, and as long as you see this referenced line here, so we are pretty much ready to start building this refractory mold. So we're gonna build first layer, or you can call a face coat with 1 part plaster and 1 part silica, and 1 part water. And here we're going to use we're going to measure those material by weight, and then also some studio or some workshops uses different refractory materials instead of silica. So, for example, molakite can be used, replaced that silica. But today here in Koning mold making workshop, we will be using silica and plaster. And thankfully, workshop technicians pre-mixed dry materials, so we don't have to measure plaster and silica separately. This is kind of really luxury workshop, and I feel like I am really spoiled by this. So in this case, we will have 1 part. So, for example, 1 liter of water, and then we need 2 kilograms of dry material. And for the face coat, we only need to build just around 5 millimeters thick coat, so we don't need much material. And also, we always need to be kind of mindful of what we are using. We don't want to waste material. and especially plaster. Plaster can be really harmful for the environment. So
And for us.
yeah, and for us
So,
as well.
yeah.
So definitely. So we, as a artist or practitioner, we always need to be. It's always nice to be more mindful when on what you are using and what we are making. So, and yeah, especially material. Please don't waste too much or unnecessarily overuse material. So we're gonna mix on this. We will start with just about 100 ml. Prepare 100 ml water, and then 200 grams of dry material mix for the first coat. If you need more, if you need to build a little more layer, more thickness, then you can always mix again. So I'm going to prepare 100 ml of water.
I think we're really lucky at Corning too that we don't have to wear masks.
Masks.
We have a great ventilation system. But if you're working with plaster, please use the proper PPE.
That's great. Yeah.
I'll put that on your cheat sheet too, because you want your healthy lungs. Yes.
See? This is how much organized Lauren is.
Yes. Okay. So, sure. I'll head into it right now. So while he's mixing, some questions have come in. Questions about photogrammetry, and I know we had to kind of skip a few steps to make it in with the hour, and then also, oh shoot, she said photogrammetry, and then the checklist. I'll get it straight, but we are going to list all those softwares that are free, like the open source, and we'll even list some other more advanced ones if you want to check those out. But we will post that later when they post the video officially, and we'll get everything straight for you. And I'll also include contacts for me and Choi if you need to ask some questions directly. We'll be happy to help you.
That's great.
Yeah.
And then actually, before we move on to mixing mold mixture, maybe I can just briefly mention about what photogrammetry is. So photogrammetry is a process that using image sources to scan 3D scan. So the difference between 3D scanner 3D scanner that we know and photogrammetry is a 3D scanner uses light sources or laser sources to measure the three-dimensional shape, while as photogrammetry collect image sources to build this three-dimensional object shape. So with the advanced technology, thankfully there are many companies developed more accessible photogrammetry mobile app. So in this class, we are running this week. We use free photogrammetry mobile app. So obviously, I mean, the outcome can be varies depending on the light and also depending on your the cameras on your mobile. But this is really a useful tool. So you can collect interesting shapes, and you can build a palette of textures and forms, and you can do a lot of things. And also you can have fun with photogrammetry to make interesting sculpture like what Lauren did. So I'm gonna mix.
I'll talk about photogrammetry for just a second too. You know, we had the app, and just to give you like a really basic demo, in a sense, I sat in a chair, and Choi, with the app open, just walked around me, and very slowly. I'm doing it very fast, but it essentially, you know, I can't go all the way around him. He walked around me several times. It gave him, as he walked around me, and filmed. It gave him some direction too, as to where to tilt the camera, how fast to go, and then I think it collected about 400 pictures.
150.
I guess it depends on which one you have it
Oh,
set
yeah,
up
that's
too.
right, yes.
And it kind of like splices those all together, and it's actually really cool when you see it because it encapsulates not just the figure but like the whole room. And then in other softwares you can pick and choose what you want. You can even manipulate them a little too.
That's
So,
right.
yeah.
Yes. And then once you've done that scanning or photogrammetry of object or person you want to do, and then we open that file on free open source 3D CAD software. And in this case, we used Mesh Mixer, which is specialized in mesh editing software. It is powerful in terms of editing meshes, but you cannot create a 3D model from. You can, but it's a lot more complicated, and it also is not really built for that purpose. But there are there are lots of free open sources, free 3D modeling, 3D CAD software available, such as Blender, which is really powerful and industrial standard software, and then also a lot more out there. So I would recommend you to explore these possibilities and make use most of those free resources. So I'm gonna go and mix.
Take a look at our model.
It's okay.
You'll see in the
Lauren, can I have that red bucket?
Sure.
With some water in here, please.
Okay.
Can you just pour, yes, water?
Sure.
Thank you very much.
Is it enough? You want more?
A little bit more, please. Thank you. Thank you.
Sure. When you get into 3D printing, you can make a lot of refinements after they're printed, and there's lots of fun little tools, but this is a dental pick you can pick things out of. I actually went to the dental school and asked for their old ones just to fill my collection.
That's very handy.
Yeah.
I prepared a bucket with water, and also brought this brush. Again, when you make your mold, all tools doesn't need to be fancy ones like old dental tools,
Yeah.
and then also cheap paintbrush, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint this mold mix on this PLA model, and also you can kind of sprinkle this, but I prefer to use this paintbrush. So,
Small stick, huh?
So you can actually paint this mold mix into very fine corners and fine details. Well, seems like this mix is a bit runny, but that's fine. And it will start setting soon.
I'm baffled why our mold won't stick.
So bad.
And I'll rotate it when you're ready. You just tell me.
Okay. So, how do you call that? This turning. I always known that as remember that as a lazy Susan.
Yeah, I think of Lazy Susan too.
Okay.
Like, you know, your like for ceramics, the turning wheel. What is that
The
called?
turning wheel. I
Yeah.
think so. Yes, and that's a really useful tool to have, and so you don't have to go around.
Sure.
Especially when you build mold for bigger object.
What is the proper name of that? I'll find out. Okay. Let's see.
When you apply this first coat, please ensure that whole surface is well covered, so you don't miss any surface.
Let's see. Just a sculpting wheel.
Ah, okay.
I like Lazy Susan.
The sculpting wheel or ceramic.
I see them at the thrift stores all the time, like the charity shops too, or the kitchen, and it'll do the same thing.
Oh yeah.
There's good examples right there too of like how when we were talking about the hairspray fighting gravity and getting it to, you know, the first layers of the mold to stick up in those surfaces, and as you build, they'll stick much easier.
Uh-huh. And also, yeah, I missed a couple of spots here, so we'll always go back and then check if there are any spots you missed. Oh.
Nope.
Oh.
No, we gotta fix that.
Yeah.
Where's the sheets? Let's see if I can fix it. Candle.
And then when you mix mold material, I prepare water first and then add dry material to the water. So in my own workshop, how I do is I prepare water and then add silica first, and then add plaster last. The reason behind for this is when plaster is mixed with water, it starts setting, which means that your working time begins, and then plaster only gives you about 5 to 10 minutes working time. So you, and then also especially when you are applying this first face coat, you don't really want to rush to apply. So kind of that's why I just leave plaster at the very last, and then add plaster at the very last. So
Let's see if we can do a quick redo.
I think
Get that one stuck down really well.
I think it's okay.
You think it's okay?
Yeah,
Will it
this
stick? Okay. I
this
just
mold
didn't
will
want you to
stick.
have to struggle with it. Yep.
Thank you.
Sure.
So as this mold mix has thickened a little bit, it kind of start sticking to the surface better, as you can see. You really don't want to rush to apply this mold mix. And then also,
I'll turn it so
thank
you
you
can
very
see.
much. Yeah.
Just getting up, really taking a look like from different angles. You can see that, we need to get some in between the legs, underneath the back of the hand.
Okay, there we go.
Yep.
Gosh. Obviously, we can use a small brush too for that kind of fine corner. And also I like clean my tools as I go, so it doesn't. You don't want to kind of again damage or waste your tools. You want to use tool as long as you can. Okay, looks it's getting better.
Teeny bit under that hand right there.
Okay.
Right up under there.
Yep.
Yep. Do you have any rules for when you feel like the material has set to start a new bat? Is there anything that stands out to you, or you just keep working it?
I just think it's kind of a really difficult question to answer.
Yeah,
It's because
Practice.
I know it's sort of tacit knowledge that I cannot really. So there is such measurement, so I can clearly tell. I know, but it's really difficult to actually share and tell.
Experience.
So feels like now this material is quite thick, so brush is not a best way to apply this. So I'm gonna use my hand and
Turn it so they can see it too. You can see how the consistency is really starting to change as it sets.
And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to scrape some material and then thank you. So you can you can see the border lines we drew earlier. Otherwise, this will be covered. If it is covered, you wouldn't be able to see the lines you drew earlier.
Oh yeah.
And then also by doing this, you kind of use almost all the mix. You don't really waste any mix, any material. And then, yeah, and I kind of try to use the mix, most of the mix I mixed, so I don't really waste any material. But obviously, I can see some, but I did my best. And then also, as I said earlier, I quite like cleaning my tools as I go. So this dried plaster doesn't piles up. So it will be really difficult to clean if you just leave it for a long time. And then also I recommend you to buy or use rubber mixing bowls. So the rubber mixing bowl is really good to clean plaster and mold mix.
If you're messy like me and you don't clean up while you work, it's better to let the plaster just fully harden and then you can break it and pop it out.
And also when you apply this mold mix to your model, please always be careful not to have any air bubble trapped between the layers. And the reason behind for this is when air is trapped between your mold layer, then it kind of the air pocket trapped between the layer try to expand while we are firing this mold. So when air gets hotter and it expands, so it cracks your mold, which means it weakens your mold. Mm-hmm. So it's always, you need to always make sure that there is no air bubble or air pocket trapped between the layers. So I think this first layer is pretty much ready. It's covered all the way around and in a sort of thickness of just around 5 mil. But obviously, since we are building this by hand, some part is a centimeter thick and some part is less than 5 millimeter thick. But it looks okay. It's not perfect to my standard, but it's okay. And so now I'm going to mix the outer layer with same mix, but I will add chopped glass fiber strand, and also I'm going to use a glass fiber, and then also you can use different types of groks. And also you can use wire, or you can use chicken wire as well. But when you use chicken wire or metal wire, always make sure that you wrap the wire around in between the mold mix layers. It's because metal expand when temperature gets hot, so and annealed as well. So it's kind of even though you wrap that around really tight, it becomes loose. So there's no point wrap that around the outside of mold.
They just break off. Yeah.
Yeah.
Break off.
So this time I'm going to mix around 1 liter of water with 2 kilograms of dry material. So I'll get
Use some fresh water. Excuse me, sorry, guys.
Oh. So I have a liter of water, and then this time I'm going to use this sort of flexible plastic bucket, and I'm going to pour this liter of water to this bucket, and then going to mix dry material to this water.
Great students cleaning up their work and cleaning it after themselves.
Okay. Lauren, I'm sorry, but can you
Sure.
please get the glass fiber?
Yeah.
And then also we have the chopped glass fiber strand in that box.
Sure.
So now we have just same mold mix as the face coat, but as I mentioned earlier, we're gonna add chopped glass fiber strand to this. Again, for this reinforcing mold material like grogs and chopped glass fiber strand, I don't have any kind of tangible figures or formula to share, but just roughly about like this amount of mix. I quite like to have just handful of chopped glass fiber. Fiberglass, yes. Oops. Thank you very much.
Yep,
Thank
say
you.
what?
And then, so the consistency of mix, mold mix, kind of we are looking at sort of slightly thicker than double cream consistency. So
You bend it up so, yeah.
it's, so it's not too runny, but it's not, at the same time, it's not too sticky. So it's just runny enough to work with.
You can keep building and then continue to move it out.
So now I'm going to build the thickness by keep adding the material to this. Then again, in this sharp kind of that corner here, you can use brush to push some material in, so you can yeah. This way. This is a wee bit too runny, but so it's kind of a little bit difficult to build the thickness. We just wait. It will become a lot stickier and thicker. Yes, please, thank you.
Maybe you could show like the whole just to be aware of things like that.
Mm-hmm. Then you can absolutely.
Or even right here where you can see a
that's
pocket,
all. Yeah.
a void. It's really cold in here. It sets so much slower when it's cold.
Yes.
Too. Yeah.
And also I use a scraper. Sometimes it's kind of scrape this material back. So you can keep still not too thick.
It's okay, these types of videos are very popular online. Just like relaxing.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Moving gook around.
It's like very meditative.
There you go.
Well, it is a kind of mold making is a bit it's a long process and also tedious process in a way, but I really enjoyed it, and also really satisfying. I always tell my students that or encourage them to make a beautiful mold and not in rush. Don't rush and make as beautiful as possible. Their mold as beautiful as possible, so they can really appreciate the process and material. But I guess that, you know, this whole sort of craftsmanship behind making glass and working with material is kind of sort of mutual understanding, and then also sort of a dialogue between me and the material. So we really need to celebrate and appreciate what material provided us to achieve. So without this material, I cannot make my work. So for that, I really appreciate plaster and water and silica. I know it sounds a bit funny, but so it's a lot thicker, as you can see, and it's really good consistency to work with now. See, when it's thicker, you can build a layer a lot better. Don't worry too much about this sort of rough, not smooth surface now. Some extent it really helps you, helps the next layer stick to the surface better. So don't worry too much about it, but make sure that there is no air trapped. So again, I'm going to right. Okay, so I think as this line we drew earlier indicate or tells us that we need to build which part a bit more, and so it seems like we need to build more on this than this. So I'm gonna mix the same amount of mix for the last layer, so which was 1 liter of water and then 2 kilograms of mold mix. Yeah, actually. Oh, and then in my studio, and also the university I am working, we use Ludo, and Ludo is old fired mold. So by adding Ludo actually works as a grog, and it really helps to reinforce your mold, and then also it really helps you to save a lot of material cost, and so I like my practice in a kind of very sustainable way in terms of financially and also environmentally, or how do you say environmentally, like sustainable.
Reduction of material waste and
Yeah. So
less environmental impact.
that's right. Yes. Yes. And then as a glass artist. And also in glass in general, we use lots of energies, so which is not really helpful for the climate environment. So I try to kind of do my best, even though it is very small things. Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
I'm gonna mix mold more. Mixed mold material. Oh, sorry. Oh, sorry, Lauren.
Yeah,
Oh, sorry. Just a liter of water, and this is going to be my last layer, and then thank you. Sorry, can I steal some of this? Thank you.
Do you want some more free fiber?
Oh yes, please.
Yep.
Oh no, no. Thank you. Just read it. I'm gonna put less than last time. It's because I'm going to use this glass fiber. So thank you very much. So I quite liked use this glass fiber in sort of small size patch. So kind of patch them up. So first you need to dip in the mold mix. Then goes.
Like a little blanket layer.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's it.
And that really strengthens your mold
That's right. Yes.
when it's expands with the heat.
And then also nice to make them kind of slightly overlap. Wait, yeah, 12:15.
Mold making takes time if you do it right. This is the most satisfying part to me when you make it all smooth.
Yeah, the last part, yeah, is the fun part.
Did you ever see the movie Cocoon?
Cocoon.
It's pretty old. It's like our generation. But,
Oh, right.
I always feel like the table at the end in class looks like the cocoon alien pods everywhere.
Ah, okay.
I'll show you the movie.
Yeah.
Since we'll be snowed in here.
Oh yes, that's right.
Here, someone asked me, in terms of this fiberglass material, can you use other forms, like the really basic forms that come in like home insulation, if you needed to strengthen a mold?
If it is made of glass fiber, yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
just a fiberglass.
A fiberglass.
It doesn't
yes.
have to be like a specific grade or type.
No,
Okay.
and no. It's more about the material than the foam it comes out. Yeah.
And you can't rush it because it has a mind of its own. It's going to set.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. We can make them set quickly. We can.
We should tell them to when to pull the vents. We can put it on our sheet.
Yeah, I will show them. We're gonna pull this vent soon. All right, okay.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Yep.
Okay. This scraper is really good tool to make your mold surface really nice and clean, and also really satisfying to doing this. And then when your mold mix is kind of set enough, then now you want to make your base. I call this base is because your mold is going to be placed upside down in the kiln when you fire your mold with glass.
So you want like a nice level, flat base.
That's
so it'll
it.
set.
Yes. It's easier when your mold mix is still a bit soft, but don't worry too much about this process. It's because you can use, is it raster or
It's like just a grater.
Yeah, it has a name.
Rasp.
Rasps.
Rasp.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. You can use this tool to make this base flat after your mold mix set. Okay. So how's time? So. And then you give just around 5 minutes to set this completely before you remove your mold from building board. And then also we shouldn't forget to pull this wire out. Again, you need to wait until your mold all set. If you try to do it now, when mold mix is still soft, you can easily damage your mold. So you better to do it when your mold mix is all set.
Put it on our checklist, right?
Yeah. And okay. For this demonstration purpose, I will just do it now. Yes. So you can basically use any plier and grab and then pull. It's fairly easy to pull this out, and also when you put this air vent to your object, please make sure that your wire is straight. You don't want to have, is it crooked or?
Crooked.
Yeah, crooked or bent spot. If it is crooked, then imagine that if it is pulled with your force, it will damage your mold as well. And then if your wire got really stuck, then you cannot physically pull this out, then what you can do is you sort of doing this. So it's much easier. And then also to remove this mold from your mold building board, since this acrylic board is quite flexible, it's really easy by kind of twisting. Or if it doesn't want to come, you can give a gentle knock. But it shouldn't be a big problem to remove this mold. So where's the scraper? Last scraper. As you can see, this is not leveled, so I think we need to grind on this side a bit more. So I'm gonna use this tool.
Leveling here and in the kiln is something I always have to have on my checklist.
Oh yeah.
So I very famously made those awards, and it was if your mold isn't level and you're making something and the glass flows, gravity's going to tilt it. So I made these discs, and they were very thick on one side and very thin on the other.
Still not leveled to this side. And also spirit level can help you to this a lot quicker and better, easier. And now since I'm doing this by eye, it's a bit. Thank you very much.
There we go. Thank you.
Kind of more or less. It's okay. Yeah. Then, so your mold is ready. So this is it, and then your mold is ready to go to kiln, and your PLA in the mold will be burnt, and so you will have a cavity of Lauren and Neil, and then we will cast this mold in glass. Thank you very much for watching us. Thank you. Thank you very much, Lauren.
Yeah, of course.